Hey there, this is an update on my overflow boxes and the piping to go down to the sump filters. This is for the 29-gallon aquarium, goes to a 5.5 gallon sump, and on the right there, that level float valve and man, I forgot what it's called. The little screen trap there, that is for an evaporation system. So you can see there the overflow goes into a T, two valves. This will go to the sump. So this is a discharge from the overflow into the sump. That's the inlet to the sump. On this side of the T goes down. This screen, filter screen, is there because these float valves are very sensitive to debris. The way they work is such that if debris gets in there, it's not going to work, and then have the possibility of flooding my 1 gallon pickle jar, which is my evaporator. So that's why I added this. Probably completely unnecessary. Wasn't super expensive. You know, this is an experiment. So that's all set up. I'm gonna paint these now. I'm gonna paint them with my black enamel oil-based paint because this doesn't look nice. Yeah. Over here, we have the overflow box. This is for the 40-gallon long breeder tank. This overflow box. I did not use a union here on the smaller setup. I ended up going with a union. I basically, when I glued it up, I needed a little bit extra room there. The measurements weren't quite right. Most people probably know this who have done PVC glue ups. When you measure it and do a dry fit, you don't get it in all the way when you do the gluing. So all my measurements were short, so this is a little more compact. I had enough wiggle room, it's okay. But the union there also allows me a little flexibility if I need to change this and on installation. Didn't go with the union for the bigger overflow box. For the larger aquarium, just go straight down. Do have a cutoff valve, and then it's just pipe to an outlet. On both of these outlets that go into the sumps, I have an adapter there for a flexible hose. That way the last mile, so to speak, the last bit will be redirected through a flexible silicone hose into the sump. So that's about it. I'm gonna paint them up and I'll stitch this video onto the after I paint them. Next day after painting, here's what we got. I just did one coat. It's pretty good. At this point, I don't have the patience to do a second coat, but it looks all right. I can pick this up, but I can't really see the camera. I gotta figure out how to do that. Anyway, painted the PVC. To me, that looks a little bit better. These pieces. See that I went ahead and left certain little bits unpainted. I just thought that looked good. So that socket and the tops of the valves I left unpainted. All right, and I also got my sump baffles in. I went ahead, I had a bunch of ideas. I have some future ideas for experimentation. But I ended up just buying some glass panes from a local glass store. They were super nice. I definitely would go back to them for glass. But it's really simple, basic. You know, I looked at a bunch of videos and different ways people were doing things. Now my silicone laying skills are very poor. I am not an artistic person in general. And in this case, you know, I'm getting older. My hand isn't that steady to lay down silicone. But it's drying, it's holding. I went with this side is my inflow. So I bought one of those hanging basket things. Sock. What do they call them? Sock. One of these things. So that's gonna go probably on that side because of the layout of the hose. So that's gonna sit there. That's the inlet. I went with the flow through the bottom on the inlet. Again, this is all experimental. You see a bunch of things. Everybody's doing it the same way. I'm just going with, I'm taking all that in and then thinking about it and what do I want to do. So I want the flow from the top. I want it to come out the bottom to ensure the flow goes through there. It's going to go into my center section here. And then the next baffle is on the bottom. So it's going to flow over the top and then down underneath that center baffle and then back up and into the final where the pump will be. So I got my pump in yesterday. So this silicone just needs to dry, probably another 10 hours today before I put water in it. I'm gonna pull all the tape off now and do a little bit of cleanup. I wasn't exactly sure how sharp this glass was, and so I put a little bead of silicone on top of it. It doesn't look good, but just for safety's sake, I did that. So that's how that goes. I'll probably do my next video when it's in place as I fill it up, start putting things in it, and we'll move on from there. I'm going to get all the overflows set and all the piping going. The 29 aquarium's really ready. The sump's been running for what, 4 or 5 days now, so we'll get it moved along.